Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. I thought I'd continue on where I left off from. I did it quickly because I wanted to make sure that it was saved, because I've had a problem with them saving before. So I think I was talking about how we are almost, it seems like, conditioned to believe what we hear first than what we hear after, and also that we will trust over our senses, which obviously when I say it, I think, oh, that sounds ludicrous, why would you do that? If you could see something yourself and someone tells you that black's white, you know, if you could see it for yourself, why would you believe someone else? Especially when you know that person is a constant liar, like most governments are. And the other thing I think I forgot to mention was also that, why would they tell this lie? And that's money. Money is the biggest reason, because that's the way that every country runs, isn't it? Every country, no matter where they are, they all run on money. No one runs for free, is it? And so that is everyone's goal, especially like rich people. They will lie no matter what for money. And you can see that. I mean, there's been many things that have been revealed about governments and how they misspend their money, and yet we keep trusting them to do that job. And yet the countries, I mean, if I was in so much debt as the country is, I wouldn't be allowed to continue, but they are. There's, most of the biggest countries in the world are in debt, and yet when we get in debt, everything's taken away from us. So yeah, money is the most important thing. And maybe that's what reason, maybe that explains why someone, might, when I think about, oh no, they would never lie like that, they would never, why would they keep that lie, and, it seems too implausible. But then when it comes to money, people will do all sorts of things, and I know that, isn't it? If you knew to keep quiet, they would give you billions, or, you can get billions from the taxpayers, like, for example, NASA, how much money they get, or Elon Musk, how much money he's getting from the government for sending ships into space, cars into space, I should say. Sounds like something that the Muppets would do. So that's I guess the thing that, I wouldn't understand, because me as a person, I would never compromise myself over money. But then they do say everyone has their own figure, isn't it? But if you imagine if you were in these powerful positions. But the thing is, I think the other thing is just like me, just because they're in a powerful position doesn't mean suddenly they're more awakened than me, or more knowledgeable like me. They probably never even considered it. The lie may have been told, 100 years ago or more, and we're still believing that lie. I mean, how many lies do we all, we follow lots of, like, the aspect of money, of the way our governments are run. They're thousands of years old. We follow things that someone set up. If you think about it, the way that we run our government, the way we run our country, that was set up thousands of years ago. And we're still running our lives like that, even though, we don't think that they may not have been as enlightened as we are now. We surely are more enlightened now. We should have better ways of running government, of running the country, running the world, sharing everything out, not letting people die of things that we've already cured. I mean, how many new cures have there been for these diseases? It's funny how now there's so much money to be made by pharmaceutical companies that there's no, like, penicillin breakthrough like there were before, when it wasn't all about money, it was about glory, about, you were the one who invented this. Whereas now these companies are not individuals, they're companies, and it's all about money and continuing. If they found a cure for something, would they really release it? It depends how much money they can get by, keeping it going on. That's the thing that they like doing these days, which, looks like a money-spinning scheme, isn't it? They keep you continuing taking the medicine, so it keeps you alive, but it never fully cures you. That keeps their profit margins up. Everyone knows how the pharmaceutical companies run. It's another one of those lies in plain sight, isn't it? I suppose also it goes like with also when you think about these false flags. When you think, why would people do these, whether it's the government or whether it's someone who's engineering them. And a lot of it boils down to money. If you think about it, keeping people scared. Like whether it's gun control or whatever, producing more guns, getting more people, police, getting more powers, or to stop the terrorists, we need to see every single information that you ever write about. How would you get that if you didn't have these being scared? Because when you're scared, you think, yeah, they should be doing this. You don't even think about, you don't even wait for them to say it. You say, why aren't they doing this? And then you go and complain. You should be checking everyone's stuff. I've got nothing to hide. There's lots of reasons why these things could take place. There is motive behind all of this. It's just, it seems so implausible to us because we don't think that way. I suppose you'd have to be a powerful person or a rich person to consider whether these things are plausible or not to you. To obviously normal people, they're not. Until you keep hearing about scandal after scandal after scandal when it comes to people in power. And yet we still trust them, we still keep electing them. I mean, look at the election process, where it's always an old person, where it's always, just two people. You get to pick about 2 people. Oh yeah, there's 7 people, there's so many millions in the country, and you get to pick between 2. Like if you look at Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, it was like, which is the least worse? I mean, when you get to that kind of situation, you know that this isn't really working, is it? I think the real problem is we're all asleep and we're allowing this to happen, whereas we shouldn't. Should we? If we really care about our own future and our children's future. You look at now with the NHS, I was there at the GP and it said that, from now on they're going to give your information away, your national insurance, your medical history, your date of birth, I think even your address. It didn't mention your name, but if you've got your national your NHS number, you can be tracked from that. So who are they going to sell this information to? Of course you can opt out of it if you want, but who's going to bother to do that? Who's going to even notice? Most people might not even notice that sign saying that. I never knew that. When did we ever agree to do this? See, that's the problem as well, that governments do things for us that we probably would never really want them to do. So are they governing us, or is it in their best interest or our best interest? It's always their best interest, isn't it? Look at the housing shortage. They're never going to start building more houses because they'll lose out on all the money they're making by having less houses, because then they can charge more for them. That's why they never build any houses and why we all live in flats now. As we get older, we're getting worse off than the generation before. How is that progress? And yet we're in the 21st century. There's so many of these things that if you actually list them all out, surely you'd have the conclusion that the way we're living is not right. And then you're going to answer, well, if that's, what are we going to do about that? And why is it like that? And what else don't we know? I suppose the thing you've got to ask yourself is, of all the things that you know, how much truth do you really know?